Hi, welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today, and I'm coming into this more or less needing a meeting. I have a heavy heart today. Night before last, my husband had read that somebody that I knew well enough, and I knew she had had her struggles with alcohol off and on. She'd contacted me a few years back. She was trying to get sober, and she struggled with it, and she passed away. And I was in denial. And then yesterday, when Doug Kramer was announced as having passed, I couldn't be in denial anymore. I didn't know why it had hit me so hard. And then after the meeting, I'm like, oh, that's why. She was a truly kind and beautiful soul. And she had one of the most horrific lives that you can possibly hear. And she could always find it in her heart to love and forgive, and that's pretty amazing. And we'll know more in the next few days, I'm hoping. And I don't know if it was alcohol related or not, but I suspect that there was something, because she did have her struggles with it, and she lost a lot of battles. But then she'd get right back into it and get right back into sobriety, and she'd go to college and get a degree. I mean, she did do that. And anyway, hi, seventh son. So that's what's happening there. And I'm in the meeting room all by myself, except for you guys in the chat. I don't know if you heard that, seventh son, but a friend of mine that I actually knew in real life passed away the night before last, or it was announced that she had passed away the night before last. And she was found unresponsive, is what my understanding is, and the paramedics couldn't bring her back. So she had not been that way for a while. She had been in a medical situation. At least she wasn't just, anyway. Hello. So much loss. I don't know how much more I can take. We don't have a choice. People go when they go. But it's just too much. And I know a lot of people, you know what, Zelda? That's it. That's it. When the pictures started coming out, people sharing their pictures. Oh my God. Damn this disease. This malady, whatever you want to call it. Alcoholism does not play fair. It just doesn't. It fights dirty. And I hate when it wins. I don't know why it's such a formidable enemy, but it is. It's a formidable murderer, is what it is. CK, it had been years since I'd spoken to her. She had reached out to me when I was still in California, and I've been kicking myself a good bit for not reaching out more and trying to be more of a support. You can only do what what you can do. But I'm certain I could have done more. But I didn't start really paying attention to my own recovery until recently. You can't stay in a cult forever and hide from the world and hide from your problems and hide from your sicknesses and the things that are out to kill you. But I do wish I could have been more of a support to her. I don't know if it would have helped or not, but it might have. She might still be here. Hi, Christy.
Hi. Hi. Looks like you're really struggling right now.
Do what?
Looks like you're really struggling right now.
I wish there would have been more I could do.
Yeah. Is this your friend you were telling me about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that were in her life that loved her are feeling that way.
Yeah.
When they're here and they're doing we're talking full grown adults here,
Yeah.
and as adults, we get to do what we want.
Mm.
But, somebody that has that big of a battle with alcohol doesn't do it because it's what they want. They do it because it's kicking their ass everywhere they turn.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
and it's what they're having to stay, in some instances I mean, yeah. So what can we do to support you today?
I don't know.
I have
Bring her
some
back.
stuff. Oh, I wish I could. I have some stuff that I did on grief and some physical symptoms and ways to cope. Do you want me to talk
Sure.
about that? Do you think that might be
Sure.
helpful?
Sure.
Okay, can you hear me okay? Am I
Yeah.
loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are physical symptoms of grief. We kind of know how we feel emotionally. So these are physical symptoms of grief, how it affects you, and some things that you can do to kind of help with that. Um, so the physical symptoms are, you might feel like you have a broken brain, and you do, and how and why that affects your healing journey.
It does.
You need
CK.
it says you need to
It
heal your body. before any emotional work can be done, before you can start to process it, because your body actually goes into um, fight, flight, or freeze mode when you're in grief.
CK, I
Um,
mean, there isn't much more that can be said. It, I mean, if it sounds simple, it's because it is simple, but it's not, except it's not, except because we're human beings and we're very complicated, you know?
yeah. Well, and um, the so there's a system in our body called the parasympathetic system, and that's responsible for our basic needs. And when we're in grief, and those basic needs are breathing, eating, and thirst. And when we're grieving, these cues get interrupted in our brain. So we stop eating, we stop getting thirsty and hungry, and we tense up. Um, the breathing becomes slow and shallow. We have loss of eating and inability to sleep at all or to sleep too much. Then there's the prefrontal lobe, and that deals with our focus, our decisions, and our search for meaning, right? And search for meaning is also how we process what's going on with us, right? So when this is paused, you cannot make normal decisions when you're in your grief. You can't trust your decisions and you can't find the meaning of what's going on. The next thing is the amygdala, and that protects us from threats. And this is what I thought was interesting. When we are grieving, it is a threat to our safety and our control. So the grief actually makes us feel like we've lost control and that we're not feeling safe anymore. And that brings in that fight, flight, and freeze, and our body cannot tell the difference from a past, present, or current threat to our safety. All it knows is that we're feeling attacked. So we literally get caught in a response. And this is how we approach grief. So if we're caught in the freeze response, we're just going to freeze up. Fight, we're going to fight and deny and argue with the grief that we're feeling. Um, the next is, and I promise it will get less technical here in a minute. Next is the uh, lymphatic system or the limbic system, which protects us. And it sees grieving as a fear response and it gets turns on high and it causes our focus to turn inward. So we have a loss of interest and we have a loss of curiosity. So our body is really working to protect us when we're grieving, but what it's doing is it's internalizing everything instead of, really like processing it emotionally, we're feeling it physically first. Um, it challenges Grief challenges our sense of mortality, and it challenges our sense of things being permanent. Um, and grief does this to us not by choice,
I know
and
that, Zelda. I'm sure she,
it's
I don't know that she did. I don't know that she did know that I was there for her. I mean, I could have done more. I could have, told my friend Susan to give her my number. I'm working a recovery program now. Give her my number. I don't know that she did know that I was there for her. It was years and years ago. Her child was small when she reached out to me, and her child is a grown is an adult now, full fledged.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it is a beast of an addiction, and I know it's not my fault, but you know, I just need to figure out what to do for the people that are still here that I do know struggle with it. I need to figure out a way in if
mhm,
if it'll help at all.
yeah, yeah. Well, it feels really scary and fearful, and no one else knows your grief or grieves the same way that you do, and that's why it's so personal. Is is because it, you're feeling it very different than anyone else is feeling it. Like, and your feelings are real. Those are real. And the question of could I have done more? It's a real question,
And that
you
whole
know.
thing of isolating, I've had a really bad habit of doing that since active
Yeah.
addiction.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what we do. It's what we
Mhm.
do, and I know that that's what she had been doing.
Mhm.
She was in and out of recovery,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, I mean, it's was she in recovery this last time? Do you
I
know?
don't know.
Mm.
I think she had moved away so that people didn't know, you know, because the people that were kinda hard, that tried to kick her ass into shape don't understand that it didn't like that. It doesn't work that way. You can't kick somebody's ass into sobriety. It just doesn't
Yeah,
work,
right.
you know?
Well, and that's a difficult place to be when you really, really want to help someone, but you're not sure.
That's okay, CK. I mean, it is evil. It is. It's a rat bastard addiction, alcohol addiction especially. That all of it is a rat bastard.
Um, was she still in the cult or had she gotten
No,
out?
she was not in a cult. She contacted me when I was still in a cult.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
I was
okay.
still in California when the first time she reached out to me to let me know that she was working a sobriety program and trying very hard to get sober. You know,
Mhm.
I was in a cult, and so I just had my little head buried in the sand, and I'm like, "Yeah, best I could come up with. You know, we can do better when we are better."
Yeah, yeah,
Can I just say one thing? Good morning,
yeah.
Elsa.
Good.
You may not have been able to help her, but you are saving at least one person who is in active alcoholism.
Right
And
on.
I know that may not be, you know,
No,
enough,
and
but
it is, and I feel like I had a little bit of time in the car to think, because we had to take my husband's truck in to get repaired, and it's a decent drive, so I was following him in, and you know, I can't do anything about her now, but I can, I can work my way forward, and I believe that she would want me,
Yeah.
in whatever small part I played in her life, to do that.
Okay.
Sober friends are hard to come by, you know, when you love people who don't seem to have a problem with it, it gets tricky.
no, I seem to be the only alcoholic in my friend group, which is strange. Well, actually, no, it's not strange because most of my friends didn't have problems with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like even though
they
that's the
know of,
culture here.
you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. But like they can all keep a handle on it. It's just that I'm the only one who has. Well, like you say, something hit me. It's not a choice for me anymore at the moment.
Mhm.
But I have some good news. I have cut it down to like at least a third of what I was doing.
Right
So
on.
actually came. I
Right
came on
on.
today with so much good news. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay. And
Carol
I'll,
needs a
I'll
meeting.
take all that good news that I can get. That's good,
Yeah,
Christy. That's really good.
Nice,
Carol
nice.
needs a meeting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so glad, Rebecca, that you feel that way. I'm glad that you feel like it's a safe place and not
Yeah.
alone. That's the biggest thing is, you know, finding ourselves at at the bottom of a bottle is just it's so empty
Hmm.
and so sad and so dark. It's so dark there.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have any more and you're angry about it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what gets me. Is like, why can't I just go to bed and not be upset that I don't have any more for the morning or whatever. I'm slowly getting over that, because I'm slowing right down because I'm dealing like with the underlying issues, which causes me to drink. So it's not all gone, and it's always gonna be there. It's just that if I deal with it rather than drink it away, then maybe I can. Well, I already am. I'm slowing right down, and I have to say, this flu and everything's come at the right time. It makes
Does
it.
it help? I mean, it doesn't help you feel better, but does it help with the desire to drink being lessened?
Oh yeah, yeah. When you feel sick, you don't want to make. You know,
Yeah,
don't.
that's
And
true.
sleeping.
I remember that when I used to feel sick, and drinking anyway, and how much worse it made me feel. Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to just maintain so I don't feel sicker. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just enough to. This is shameful
Rebecca, that's
actually, and it's.
huge. It's like there was a time I wouldn't have been able to be around my drinking friends and stay sober. Eventually I could. And it wasn't until then that I moved back where those friends that I used to drink with were. And they can all drink like adults as far as I can see, you know, or those
Yeah.
that can't are like there's a girl in this group of friends that she's had almost as much recovery time as me, which
I'm,
is
I,
pretty
I'm
cool.
I'm also eating yogurt, so more good news.
You're what now?
I'm also able to eat yogurt. Me and my son figured out we can eat yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh, and it'll stay down and all that good stuff, huh?
yeah, so I'm so glad.
Hey,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, so if I'm eating yogurt, I'm doing it very slowly, and I'm sorry. So I'll just turn this off while I
Rebecca,
eat.
I have trouble with spending too.
Yeah, I don't have trouble with spending. I have trouble going out, and I hate internet shopping because I can never decide what to buy. So this Christmas, it's just like I hate Christmas, mainly for the fact I never know what to get anyone. So I'm like, you just tell me what you want, and I'll get it.
Right, right.
We can get
Well,
through this one day at a time and with the support of others. Yeah, that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
all we've got is one foot in front of the other and one day at a time. I'm addicted to buying
Exactly.
fabric. As I love to
Actually,
sew, it's a struggle. I love to buy fabric and craft stuff, and it's like if I keep at it, I'm gonna have to have a storehouse just
I
for
love
my
art supplies.
fabric. It's
Uh,
ridiculous. I get
Art
these
like
ideas and I get the fabric to do them, and then I don't do them.
paints and paintbrushes and canvases, but I won't use them because once I touch them, they're no longer new. I love like fresh paintbrushes on my face. It feels really nice. But I'm like, one day I'll get back to you.
Right on.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess that's not entirely true. I do like buying one particular thing. So
Oh yeah.
and it's true. Everyone has an addiction to something.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not harmful.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's any addiction can be, denied within somebody because nobody wants to say that nobody wants to be an addict. Nobody as a kid said, "Oh, I want to grow up and be an addict." Nobody said that.
No, I
right.
don't think so. No, I don't remember me saying that. In fact, when I was a kid, I grew up thinking I'm definitely not going to do that because I watched a lot of stoner movies and like, why would anyone want to live that life? Dazed and sorry, like, that was a movie, like it was a stoner movie, and there was another one, like all the Cheech and Chong movies, like they were funny, but I was just like I couldn't imagine just living that sort of lifestyle, and but I just thought no, and also growing up around my parents who didn't really live that lifestyle, but I grew up around all of that, so but. And here I am today.
They drink in front of you,
No.
Steve?
Huh?
Oh yeah. I grew up under the pool table at the pub with my mum. So
Oh,
yeah, she was a bit of a pool shark. So yeah, so I was just sitting
you
there.
telling us that at one point. So yeah, you were totally around it.
Yeah, so my kids never. I never took my kids. We might have gone for like a afternoon lunch when they were very little, but yeah, I never took my kids to the pub. So it's just not really a place for kids. Even though they got like little play areas, it's just no, I didn't
Are
do
you?
that.
I bet they don't now.
Oh no, they still do.
Really?
Yeah, you
That's
just leave your kids there and go have a drink.
that's insane. Have a room full of sewing yarn, beads, and jewelry making supplies. So we have a lot more in common than just addiction here. Good deal.
Well,
We're a little bit crafty.
I've got a whole bunch of stuff from Hobby Lobby, from glue to pieces of paper and stamps and ink, and I
Oh, I also love pens. I love
All
pens.
my wife's stuff she ran out of time to use. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
These lives, they're so fleeting and so fragile. Why does it have to be this way? You know? Just downside. I don't have a dedicated room as I just downsized to a smaller one-bedroom apartment. My entire bedroom closet and under the bed are full of sewing craft, fabric, quilt kits, etc.
I would love to get into quilting, but I don't have the patience, and I really can't figure out how to thread a sewing machine. That's why I failed one particular sewing in home ec. It's just like I just can't get it. I can read the manual and I'll be like, teacher.
You know, it really helped having a sewing teacher. She, I was taught well how to thread my sewing machine.
Oh, our teacher wasn't very nice. She didn't like me very much, but it's because I was a little sarcastic. So I don't think much has changed as far as in that regard. So, but yeah, no. Her name was Mrs. Bell. So yeah, so we used to say Mrs. Bell is going to hell. But yeah, but
Rebecca says there are tips she could give you on threading a needle.
oh no, I can thread a needle fine, but it's the actual sewing machine, because different sewing machines all thread different. So,
True.
and I'm someone who reads the manual, and they don't keep them at school. So,
Most sewing machines you can download some kind of manual for. I actually
this
ended up
was a
buying
while ago.
a photocopy of a manual for my early 60s sewing machine that I've been sewing on since I was a little girl. I had to buy it off of eBay, and it was just a photocopy. And it wasn't cheap either, but that was several years ago.
Well, drawing and painting and computing. PC is my thing these days. So, and nowadays I don't think I could handle the sound of the sewing machine. For hours, I'd be like, nah.
You give 2 hours every day to all of us. You and Christy have no idea how much you help us and give us respite from our individual hell. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's amazing. It's hard to feel like, am I doing anything?
Definitely are.
Well, thank you. And I know that I just feel like this is something I have to do.
yeah.
Beyond that, she's right. Rebecca's right. You can get manuals online, My oldest machine is my grandmother's Singer treadle machine, and I use it regular. That's amazing. And I bet it sews like nobody's business.
I only finished school in 97.
Al Gore had yet to invent the internet. Al Gore didn't invent the internet.
No, that was Copernicus. Yeah. Not that old. Yeah, no. But yeah. Let me go.
You know,
The treadle
I
feels like a dream. I bet it does.
I
Anyway,
can't
sorry.
see any of the comments, so if I'm not responding to you guys, I'm sorry. I can respond if they're out. I can tell you, I cannot sew a button onto a shirt. Okay, I am that bad. I don't know how to use a sewing machine. I took home ec and I failed the sewing part of it and the baking part of it too because I didn't like the rules. I was like, no, no one should tell you how much chocolate to put in something. Well, kind of a reason why they do that, because it tastes really horrendous if you don't put enough sugar in. So a lot of my stuff is just crafting. I love making junk journals, and that is and dyeing papers and using fabrics and things like that. I have nothing to add to the sewing machine conversation. I don't own one. I wouldn't know what to do if someone gave me one.
I did
But
not
I
know that Al Gore claimed that he did. That's wackadoodle.
invented the internet.
Yeah, that's just wackadoodle. Wackadoodle doo.
Oh my gosh,
He
what?
did not. He didn't.
Good Lord. Well, and I just wanted to go back to kind of what everybody else was saying. And I think, um, it's when you find your life's work, as I think you have done, you get a drive to help. And I think if you help just one person, and here you are helping more than just one person, keep her in your heart and keep her here, and you can take her with us on this journey. And so just because she didn't reach out to you, like you're not ever going to know what she thought or where she was at, but you can get a little memento and you can bring her with you on this journey, and it doesn't have to stop there. Just like you've got mama's tiara, if there's something that reminds you of her, then bring that up in celebration too, and she can come with you on this journey, the spirit of her, because you are doing a lot of really important work. And what you have created here is so important because people can interact, and it's not just through the chat. They can come online, they can say we need a meeting. We have learned so much about people and people who we love, and I think it comes from a place of you feeling like maybe in the past you didn't do enough to do things. um
I'm in
oh
tears, but I have got to put on a tiara for seventh son. Ladies, I am on my 64th day sober. You didn't know. That's amazing.
that is
That's
wonderful.
amazing, seventh son. And I'm
Oh,
sorry I'm crying while I'm wearing a tiara. Nobody should be wearing a tiara and crying.
no, you can cry tears of joy when you wear a tiara. you know I think it's amazing. Seventh, I am so
Amazing.
proud of you. That is amazing.
It is. That's
What a
incredible.
beautiful way to show
Never
up for
give up. That is just for that is just a place in time where the tide will turn. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
amazing, seventh son.
So
Good
proud of
work.
you.
Great work.
Yes.
Honest to Pete. Oh, 64
I have to
days
say,
for seventh son. Isn't that
it's
amazing?
amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to get to that time.
Right, you will, and you
You will.
absolutely
Yes, I will.
You will.
And I have to say, hearing your heartbreak has made me more determined because I don't want to. I don't want to do that to my family
Yeah. Yeah.
and friends and loved ones,
Yeah. And you
and
won't.
I'm only 44, you
Yeah.
know, and I can already see that the damage over the last, because it's only been like I've been drinking for like, you know, I don't know, 10 years, I guess, but not hard. It's only been the last 3-4 years that it's been hard.
Yeah.
And I've had three go. Oh, this is going to be my third. Well, I've had the third go of home detox. I guess this is my fourth go of actually dealing with the underlying issues first. But I'm determined. You know, I've always been determined to give up. But you know, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a
It's a beast.
oh yeah, it is. You know, it's difficult, and especially when you've got so much going on around you, and it's your coping mechanism. So I'm learning other coping mechanisms.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
um,
I'm
I got a
sorry.
lovely.
I wish that, I wish that it were different. And I wish that there would have been something that would have worked for her, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying everything.
Yes, you are. I've never seen anybody work harder at toward getting sober in my life. So you're going to get there because you're doing something every day for it, toward that end. You're here every day.
Yeah.
So
And I also do Tommy's meetings, and I just watched back some of Tommy's old ones as well, and all that sort of stuff because I can't. Oh, it's just I just need to be occupied.
yeah,
Yeah, they all cry. That's what I was thinking.
that's
I'm
true.
pretty sure they all cry. Yeah.
Very
So,
true. Very
yes.
true.
So not only am I doing this for myself, but I'll also do it in honor of your friend and for you as well.
You can do this, Cosmic. I send you tons of support, Rebecca says. Yeah,
Thank you.
we're all here for you and here for your sobriety.
Yes, and we're all here for you, especially today.
Thank you. I wonder if I don't have my phone here with me. I was going to see if I could bring up a picture of her. My last alcohol caused, oh, hello. My last alcohol caused a visit to the hospital. It cost me over $8,000. Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
It can be costly in those in so many unexpected ways.
yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture of her name's Mary. All right, let's see here. Come on. Yeah, here she is. Here she is. That beautiful girl in the white dress in the middle there with that amazing smile.
Oh, she's
She
gorgeous.
She
beautiful.
is. Yeah,
What a smile she had. What a beautiful smile.
incredibly beautiful smile. And she was always smiling,
Mhm.
Everyone
always.
looks so happy in that photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good
Yeah.
day. That's when Our friend Susan was getting married, and that was a lot of fun. We all kind of got together. And yeah, I think she was doing really well at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I don't recall her being at the party drinking. I think that she and I were kind of some of the few ones that weren't imbibing. And yeah, that was a good time in her sobriety. She was doing really well. At least I didn't see her with an actual drink in her hand. Lord, you guys. I don't know how long of a meeting I can do today,
Yeah.
but I'll if anybody needs a meeting, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you my good news.
Okay.
Let's hear your good news.
Okay, well, the first part is that I have reduced a lot. I'm
Yeah.
feeling better from my flu. I reached out to my friend yesterday and said that I'm feeling alone out here, my best friend, and because I can't really drive. I did try and drive my son to work yesterday, and my wrist has been burning ever since. And she's coming out here with one of my support people today to help clean the house and wash my hair. So I'll just get a chair by the shower and just wash my hair. And then, because I can do the rest, it's easy with one hand. But my hair is like down to my, like I can sit on my hair. It's just too long. But anyway, back to the actual really happy news. Someone from my past, from when my son was like 2, she was like my best friend back in those days. We used to hang out all the time. She knew exactly what was happening with my first DV partner, and she kept telling me to leave. And she ended up being in a DV relationship. She just recently left that. She's now really happy. She's left drugs behind. She goes to church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really strange the way we found each other, and we found it. She spoke to me last night, and she's going to become a DD survivor counselor. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just amazing, and she's going to come down here at some stage, and we're going to meet up. I get to see her son again, who I held when he was first born. He's 16, so it's
Oh,
yeah, I know. It's just
that's amazing.
yeah. I'm just so
Wow. How long has she been clean?
Kia ora, Chris. About a year now, at least. So what over there?
Sorry about that, you guys. I was just trying to reply to somebody, and I turned all of our toggles off.
Yeah, it's been about a year now. That's all right. I was like, is it just me?
No, it was every one of us, even me.
Yeah. No, I was like, I don't want to be the only one on screen. Yeah.
So anyway, so how did it come about? Do you mind? Is it okay to share that?
No, she'll be happy with me sharing a story. She realized that she has children, and because she was stuck in a lifestyle where she had no control. I knew it as soon as I met him. I'm like, because I haven't seen her for about a good 5 years now. Because we've seen each other maybe twice since I left in 2012. And yeah, as soon as I met him, I'm like, I got your number.
Yeah.
But I was really polite, and I was just like, oh
No,
no.
I was kind of more curious about how it came about that you guys got back in touch.
Oh, okay. Well, so through a mutual friend who added me to all these dating pages on Facebook, because anyway. And anyway, one of the moderators was one of my friends from back in those days too. And the first day he saw me, added me as a friend, and we started talking. And the first person I asked about that was a mutual friend was her. Her nickname's Mo. I used to call her Flaming Mo, like from The Simpsons. And and I was like, have you seen Mo? Is she still in Gympie? Because she'd moved around a lot. And he goes, yeah. And then last night, he asked to post any pictures that we had of him, and I said the only one I've got of any of that group is of Mo. And then he goes, well, she's still around, and she goes, I'm here. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And she goes, oh my God, Chrissy. And then she added me as a friend on Facebook, and we started chatting, and she told me the story. And her sobriety story is amazing as well. So, and now, like, for her to be going to church is amazing, considering.
Yeah.
But for whatever works to keep her happy and keep
That's
her
right.
on the.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, God, she's almost gone down my path, but my path, but same but different. But I'm just so happy for her, and I'm almost buzzing with joy because,
Well,
as I said, all my close friends are my best friends. So
That is amazing, though. So you got another person in your support group.
Yeah, well, she's a bit far to be that,
Okay.
and I don't want to tell her much of what, because she's only just really. I don't want to trauma dump on her what I've been through because it's a bit much. Like she's quite a bit younger than me, and
Okay.
I just want to hear her. I just want to listen.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and I didn't tell her anything. I said, "Oh, I could write a book," but I just listened to her, and she let it all out.
You never know if you sharing what you're going through, as far as even with sobriety, might help her. You never know.
Maybe, but
We never know what our own experience can do to help somebody else.
well, I'll listen first. Yeah, I'll listen first, and then see what she can handle, because
that's a good idea. That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
Yeah, but if she wants to be a DV specialist, she can work on me first. So I just.
I think this is beautiful. Like, look at everything the universe is doing for you. You've got a special housemate out of your house, and
Oh, thank goodness.
Talk about that later.
and you are motivated, and you are, like, you're reducing, and you've got this beautiful friend you reconnected with, and you're here sharing with us, and you have so many positive things ahead of you, people around you who love you and support you. I
Yeah.
think that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. Yeah.
So
Hi, Mistress. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's something I'll go into later. I'll tell you about it later, Christy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all G,
Okay.
But
Okay.
I
yeah,
think your
but
determination is just so beautiful and so inspiring. Working on the root of, what's going on with you. And I think that's a very positive place to start.
yeah, well, and it helps that this, like I said in the voice message, because I'm still finding it difficult to type to Christy yesterday, that it's very hard to put into words the gratitude I feel for everything that's happened, and especially for this group. Oh, seventh, I know how that feels.
Ooh, that's
And it's actually, I'm not sure if that's actually illegal, but
I mean, who's policing that?
yeah, it just depends on what sort of photos they use. But
that's
yeah.
whacked out.
Yeah, I did love your photos today to Christy as well.
Yeah. Your tree looks amazing, Christy. My house looks like Amazon warehouse. Lots of unwrapped gifts. No decorations yet, as I don't have the room to move.
Well, I wanted to try a different angle. The lighting from this angle is really terrible, which is why I kind of keep. So I think tomorrow I'll be back to my other way. But yeah, give you a different view. You know.
I think the lighting's pretty good. I mean, just a little shadow on the one side, but
Yeah.
just put a lamp there.
I like my lighting.
Yeah.
I like my lighting. It's nice and dark because then I don't have to worry about makeup or anything right now. Oh God, did it again. But yeah, the gratitude I feel for this group and everyone in it and the support that we all give each other is just, it's too much. Like, thank you's not enough. You know, it's not enough. It doesn't express it well enough. So thank you, Carol.
Thank you all for being here.
And everybody.
It's amazing that you guys come here every day and reach out and share. I mean, it really is beautiful and amazing. And thank every one of you for everything that you've been doing. And I almost feel like I could read from the Smart Book. Almost, maybe not. Maybe I can.
It's up to you.
Maybe I can a little. I thought I could, and I just started feeling sad again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you feel like you've had a meeting, then, you know, it's up to you. This is your meeting today, Carol.
Yeah.
For those of you who just joined us, I had a friend who lost her battle with alcoholism. I found out night before last, and when the Doug Kramer thing hit me so hard, I had been in denial. My husband had read it to me, but I'm like, no, that's not true. No, that didn't happen, but it did, and when I went on to Facebook myself and people started posting pictures of her, memories of her, that's when it became real that she is truly gone. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it is my understanding that her battle did have something to do with it. Soft lighting mischief. Thank you, Chris. And I have been doing the thing of, she reached out to me years ago when she was, fairly newly sober, and I should have tried harder to keep in touch, but I wasn't working a program. I wasn't doing anything toward recovery in those days. I was in a cult when she contacted me to share that with me. I was in a cult, fully in, and she was working trying to get her baby girl back. She never did. She never did. They were in each other's lives. They knew each other, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough one. A couple of years into my sobriety, when it hit me that, oh, sobriety was possible. I didn't know that, I didn't know this could be a thing that could be part of my life, and it might have been okay. And so, I did the whole torment myself thing about, what have I done? Sobered up, and what have I done? I gave my baby up for adoption, and that never really went away. Once reality set in, and it was no longer the rose-colored glasses, tell yourself the rosy story. I mean, I did to some degree, but it was more of a thing of like, almost like white knuckling with an addiction. Like, I'm fine. This is good. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is good, and yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was, he's safe. He grew up, he made it alive. But he struggled, and I struggled, you know. And I'm glad I'm so blessed that he decided to be in my life, and he heeded my many warnings about his genetics and addiction. And he has not been drinking. He had last time we talked about it, he had not had a drink in like a few months. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with me, I didn't have a problem with it. I could drink pretty normally for a long time until I couldn't.
Yeah.
That was the same with me. And thank you so much, Seventh.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Misha. Yeah. I stinking alcoholism. I wanted to say something else about uh, in alcoholism, but I'll refrain from that.
I'll
Cause
say it. Fuck alcoholism, because I'm in it, so I can say it.
yeah, Cosmic, your courage to appear on camera and speak has given me strength. Might just be your voice, accent, but you make a difference, and you do. And you
Thank
do.
you.
You're fighting this. You're not just laying down and saying it's too hard. It is hard. It's very hard. And you're going through the hard part. And you have been for a while.
Yeah,
But
I'll get there.
you will get there. There's been too many things that have just been, turning your heart toward that. And there is life after booze.
Yeah.
There is life after
Oh,
booze. And
well,
you'll
I lived
figure
so
it out.
long without it, and I was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you will figure it out. You will find your way and you will figure it out. It's not going to be easy because of all that you have to deal with, internally, but you'll find your way. You'll find your footing. You will.
Yeah, I know. And with the support of this group and everyone I have around me and my therapy and everything I'm putting into place, I'll get there. So
At that time, a good decision, maybe. I'm so glad you now have contact. That is wonderful. Better still, he has learned about himself and his genetic disposition. Yeah. Yeah. I remember I used to lurk on his Facebook, before we ever even spoke to each other. And I remember there was a shot of him with a beer in one hand and a turkey, of all things, a turkey leg in the other.
turkey legs.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that feeling. I remember what that felt like. And oh dear, Houston, we might have a problem.
Yeah, I've had to talk to my son about it as well, saying we have a predisposition, so please don't. Just, it's his choice. I'm not, what can I say? I can't stop him, but,
I know.
I keep having to warn him. And he wants to join the army, so I have to say.
Ooh, yeah, and that's like heavy drinking area. I wonder
Yeah,
if they
so
have any sobriety support in the military.
I have no idea.
Never
I don't
heard
even
of
want him to join.
I've never heard of recovery in the military, but it's a needed thing. It's very needed.
I don't think they're. I don't know. I know they're not allowed to drink while they're in training or anything like that. But as far as or smoke or, oh, thank you, Misha. I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
But yeah, so he's got to be pretty healthy when he goes in.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some training and all that sort of stuff he's got to do. But he's
Has
got a
he already
goal, and I'm not
enlisted?
going to stop him. No, he's doing a traineeship right now. He's I'm not really supposed to talk about him, he told me, but I'm like, you talk about me on the internet, I hear you. So, but and I hear other people talking about me on the internet. So you know what I'm going to do to your mum? But yes, but I don't care because I know it's just your mama jokes. But yeah, but it's his goal, and I'll support him in his goal. So he's got because he's in Indigenous First Nations Australian. There's a program you can do. It's like a 17-week traineeship to get him ready for enlistment.
Okay.
So he's gonna do that. That's in the new year. So
Okay.
traineeship. He's done a 180 from where he was. He wouldn't come out of his room. He wouldn't.
Oh,
He wouldn't talk
wow.
to people. Yeah. So I just knew that he had situational depression. You know, he wasn't depressed. He just needed to get out and have a job. And now he's impressing his boss. He went to work. He was really sick yesterday. I gave him the option. I said, you know, if you feel sick, I'll come pick you up. I did. Halfway through the day, his boss was impressed he even showed up at all, considering how sick he was. He went to work today. So, you know, I think any employer who gets him will be lucky.
Yes, it sounds like it.
Yeah, proud of my boy.
Nothing like watching your children grow up and try to live like their old mama. No? Why couldn't they just learn from my mistakes, not through them? Sigh. Indeed.
Well, the thing is, you got to go through it to know it, you know, I guess in some ways.
Okay. The U.S. military does have a support system once you are in, but will kick you to the street if it's before you are all the way in. Okay. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad they've got something.
Well, you'd think they'd have to because
Oh, yeah.
In Australia, they're actually they have to recruit so many more. Like they've got like a recruitment drive going on, so they've lowered some of the requirements.
Yeah.
Right hand. But yeah, so and they want him because he's a gamer and you know they want drone operators are highly.
Wow.
Sorry, I do this leg shaky thing, so if I put my hands on there, I start to sound like I'm vibrating. But yes, they're highly wanted, and also drone operators are a big thing as well. So he can, but he wants a career. He doesn't want to join the army for 4 years and get out.
Oh,
Get a pension.
okay. Wow.
Yeah, and he's not.
Let him get. Is it a 4-year enlistment period?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
Let him.
I don't.
4 years and then decide from there.
Yeah. But we'll see because he's a gentle soul, so I don't want him to change.
Yeah. Good for him. That is so good to hear, Cosmic Christie. My descendants not only have alcoholism to deal with, we also have opiate addicts, gamblers, and eating disorders. Some bad genes to contend with. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why my daughter doesn't want to have children, is because she doesn't want to pass on her genes. She says if she ever decides to have children, which I don't think she will, because she can't handle kids screaming in the shopping centre. Neither can I now. That's why I have these. Yeah, he'll make it. He's determined. Like he's more determined than I am at anything. So, anything I can do, he can do better. And you know what? He does. Although don't tell him that. But my daughter doesn't want to pass on her genetics, and you know what? That's fine. I don't mind if I don't have grandchildren.
Okay.
I've got lots of nieces and nephews and friends and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
I don't have that that thing where I must have grandchildren. When are you going to give me a grandchild?
Yeah.
It's just you do what you want to do, and I'll be happy.
That's right. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to put on a person when they're trying to figure out what their life is. And who in their 20s and 30s isn't trying to figure out what their life is.
Yeah, well, I always knew I wanted to do better than my mother, so it was always my destiny to be a mother. But I got told at 16 I couldn't, so I was like, oh well.
You couldn't what?
Have children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when Jaden came along, I was like, oh, guess that doctor was wrong.
Yeah.
And then I had Angel. I'm like, okay, that's it. And then there's a whole other thing that came after that. But yeah, I was really happy to have both my kids, happy
Yeah.
surprise,
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
accident. But Angel was very much wanted Angel. I used to draw pictures of a little girl with angel wings and pink glasses, and I guess they call that manifestation. And
Mhm.
and because her name's Angel, I wasn't going to call her Angel, but because she was my little angel in the sky at the time. Yes, I was like, whoa, what happened there? Yeah. But but I just sort of I always planned for that. But and then when she came along, we had a crappy house, crappy car. My children were little rat bags, and I was like, I should have drawn my picture slightly better, instead of just like stick figures. But no, I'm happy to be where I am right now, even though I'm not entirely happy to be going through what I'm going through, if that makes sense.
It does.
No. Yeah,
It
I'd
does.
have very few regrets in my life, because if I didn't go through what I've gone through, then I wouldn't be who I am.
That's right.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a particularly bad person. I regret some things maybe I've said, but no, actually I don't regret things I've said. Maybe I regret how I've said them and when I've said them,
Okay.
because I don't know. I'm not really much of a liar, because it's too hard to keep things in your head.
That's right. And keep up with what was said. And yeah, you have to remember which lie you told and to whom and what it was. And that's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, maybe little white lies, oh yeah, no, that looks good on you, but maybe try this one instead. Gentle. I'm gentle about. I go, walk through life gently.
Yeah.
Is basically my goal. Although if someone really upsets me, then I'm a mining truck. So,
And she had 9.
oh wow.
I was told it would be a miracle if she was able to conceive a child, and I was her 9th. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
well.
Shows what they know, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris. A Chris with an angel, and I'm a Christy with an angel.
Oh.
Although my daughter's name is spelt differently, but she's going to change it to the correct spelling, because she can never find anything with her name. So.
Oh, right on.
But I won't. Yeah.
Okay.
I won't tell you the spelling to give her anonymity. I always get it wrong. But yeah, I'm proud of both my kids. I think I did an all right job, and I think it's mostly because I was there. They didn't have mobile phones, and I didn't drink when they were little, so I wasn't always like
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of. I'm not judging, because I know it's phone's an addiction, and all that sort of stuff. But I was just always around when they were little, so I was always paying attention. I guess you could say I was a bit of a helicopter mum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Harley, well, that's a nice name.
Explains what we already knew, though. 7th, you are a miracle, indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
And the other
Is that a chicken? No, a rooster. Did I
where?
hear a rooster?
Yeah, you
I
did.
don't know.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sun's going down, and they have just a little bit more daylight left to have their little pissing contests like they do.
I haven't heard one for so long.
Really?
Yeah, no, we don't have them in the. Oh, I would call where I live a satellite suburb, but I used to live rural regional. Well, technically rural, but they called it rural regional, so we couldn't have roosters. But someone always had a rooster, as long as it was in the distance.
You
As long
know,
as it was in the distance, I loved it.
yeah. It's in town. You're not allowed to have roosters, but I bet some people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I like them. It's
do
like,
too.
because I like getting up early, because then I get to see all the cockatoos hanging out on the back fence and the.
That's amazing. I can't believe you guys have just flocks of cockatoos.
Yeah, we've got those are white, like sulfur-crested white cockatoos. And although in one of my videos I called them kookaburras, but I could hear kookaburras, and when I hear things, I call. And then we've also got the red crested black cockatoos, and they're quite rare. So, and they're actually some call them a bad omen, but I always see them as a good omen because I'm like, oh my God, look at them. But they're very loud and they're very cheeky. And I have a video that should come up sometime where they ate my Christmas lights. I was like, my first video, I was like, hey, cookie,
how do they eat Christmas lights?
Oh, they don't eat them. They just chew them because they're inquisitive. They're like parrots, little cheeky things. And so they just, like, the first video is like, hey, Cookie, please don't eat my Christmas lights. And the next one's like, you ate my Christmas lights. So they're messing with my water things. Just like, but it was just my house. I think it's because, like, one day I'm going to get one to talk. So.
There you go. So I've had something that I wanted to share for a couple of days. And since we're talking about Australia and everything, can I share it? It's kind of fun. So I have another friend that I met on the boat. Oh, look, this lighting looks amazing. I like this lighting. Anyway, she's from Australia, and we were talking about the difference between Christmas, because out there it's all sunny and warm, and here it's like snowy. So she wanted to send me a package. And when I got it, I was so excited, and it made me think of Cosmic. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I know there's a lot of talk around like buying people a lot of gifts or spending a lot of money. And I just wanted to share this because it was homemade and so thoughtful, and kind of give you guys a chance to see something different, because I thought it was really cool. So I want to share it with you, like, if that's okay, if you guys ask for it. So when I got it, it came with this washi tape. I don't know if you can see it, but do you see the little cockatoos right there on the pink washi tape?
Oh yeah.
I had never seen
That looks like my back fence some mornings.
Yeah, I had never seen that before. I was so excited. Everything in here was the proceeds went to charity. And I love that because it was all donated to help the animals and depression and stuff like that. It all went to charity. So I wanted to just kind of like share with you. So one of the things is this little ornament. Can you see the?
Yeah.
See the so this is Beyond Blue. And it says, for many people, the festive season is a time to get together and celebrate with loved ones. For others, it can be a particularly isolating and difficult time of year. Your purchase will ensure that Beyond Blue can continue to provide much needed support and connection to people who need it for Christmas. Because when we connect, we feel better. Remember to reach out and check with those people you care about this holiday season. It could be the greatest gift you ever give. So I thought that was amazing. It's just a little ornament you can hang on the tree, but it goes to help people make connection. And I thought that's amazing because that's what we're doing. And I got this Christmas card. I was so excited about this. It is Christmas, or it is Santa on a surfboard. I have never in my life ever seen a Christmas card like this. Like, everything was always like snowy and Norman Rockwell and everything. And it says, I hope you have a swell Christmas. I thought this was the coolest thing.
I've seen a Santa on a surfboard.
I had never, when I opened it, I was like, oh. Now, this thing I think is really cool. And this is what I wanted to kind of inspire you guys with, because the person that sent it to me was like, none of this cost very much. But I wanted you to have it. So you guys know how I love to junk journal, which is I take random scraps of fabric and things like that and put them all into this really beautiful journal so you can write in it. So is this bird a cockatiel? Is that what this is?
That's a cockatoo.
A cockatoo.
That's the sulfur-crested white cockatoo, yeah.
So this is a homemade card, and then you open it up, and inside It has all of these really cool things. One of which is this little bird with a
Kookaburra.
yes, with the Santa hat on. And this is like little Christmas tags, but I'm not going to use them for Christmas tags. I'm going to put them in my junk journal, and there's a bunch of those. And then this one is a little koala bear.
It's a
Oh,
It's
koala. They're not bears.
the thing you've ever seen.
that is
I have
adorable.
It is so adorable. And then on the back it says like to and from, but there's like 10 of each. And then she made a little pouch to put them in, like with paper. And then the other side is a little Christmas tree with like
Oh, they're
native.
so cute.
That's adorable.
And then this other one is a star.
I love that.
And all of these, so the proceeds from all of these also went to a charity. And then I got, these are so cute. Now I'm not going to use them, but look, I got little stickers that have like the little koala bears and everything on them.
Oh,
Is that not the most adorable thing?
so
And
cute.
I got
That's so
now,
that's so normal to me because it's very Australian.
not normal to me.
Yeah.
I am really excited about this. Where I live, you cannot get anything put into a paper bag. Like, I'm not joking. They do not give you an option between like paper and plastic. They just put everything in plastic. And I got this really cute paper bag with handles. And then look at it.
Um,
It's got like Christmas trees and bells.
that's from our. I actually saw those yesterday when I went to my local shopping centre. You get those from our local Coles. I was going to
You
buy
know,
some so I could use them for like instead of getting presents. They're like 50 cents or 10 cents.
I was so
They're
excited
amazing.
to get a paper bag. Like, I was like, this is the best thing. Now, this, I'm excited. This is a calm coloring book. And this was
Oh wow!
the proceeds from this was donated to help the local wildlife. And apparently, she lives on the Central Coast, and I don't know where that is, but I'm gonna
That's in
Google
New
it.
South Wales.
Oh,
Central coast of New South Wales. Yeah, it's down south. Down south of me.
in all of these, it's got different pictures of
Oh
different
wow!
animals.
And that's to color in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in the
Wow.
back, it tells you what all of the animals are and like what they do.
Wow.
And the reason I wanted to share this was because I wanted to, oh, and I got a little handmade card. Look how cute.
Oh, that is darling.
Isn't that adorable? So the reason I wanted to do it was to share some stuff with you that the people in the States might not have seen because I was so excited when I opened it. I just thought it was the best thing in the whole wide world. But to encourage you too that gifts don't have to be really expensive. And honestly, I think this is probably the best Christmas package I've ever received in my life. Like, it was just so thoughtful, and somebody made it with their hands and took time to really like think um to think about something. And so I really just wanted to share it, not to show off, but just to encourage you guys that even something as simple as what we see every day in the store, someone who lives in another part of the country, like let alone across the world, but what I see in Kentucky every day is not the same as what somebody in Colorado or Arkansas or California sees every day. So you can even just take little things from where you are and send it to someone so they can have a little piece of you. And I just wanted to like encourage and uplift because the whole thing, she was so embarrassed. She said she had to put what it costs on the outside, and she was like, please don't pay attention. I'm like, look, I don't even care. But making a donation to someone's favorite charity in their name, or like anything like that, I think can be beautiful because this time of year can be so hard. But if you can make a donation to Smart Recovery.
That's
You can make a donation in someone who's fighting the fight, or Carol, you can make a donation in your friend's name. You can donate to local shelters and food banks. homeless shelters. There's any number of things. So I just, like I said, wanted to encourage you that as you're going through the season, and I know it's tough, like don't get sidetracked and discouraged. Um, you know, from that. Some counties
Yeah,
and cities pay for that.
there's certain even termites are attracted to that glue. They love that stuff, and mice and all of that stuff. They
Yeah,
they
we've
Oh,
banned all
really like that
single-use
glue.
plastic here.
Yeah.
But it just makes it actually like just seeing something that I saw yesterday in your hands today. I'm like, oh my god, I already saw those
isn't it
yesterday.
cool? Because, like, I mean, I've never been to Australia. I hope to get to go, but it just, and then again, I think it just shows how, like you said, you've just seen it yesterday, and then to see somebody get excited about it. I could not find that
I was
pink
actually
washi tape with cockatoos on it if I tried. Like, it's just not for sale here. So when I opened it, I was like, you know. So I just wanted to bring a little joy.
no, it brought a lot of joy actually for me anyway, because I was like, I want to get some of those because that's what I'm going to use for Christmas presents because I can't wrap right now. So
Yeah. Well, I already have plans for those little. Those aren't going on presents. That I'm putting those in my junk journal because I was going to make a junk myself that I could actually journal in because that to me inspires me. And I thought, wow, that's amazing.
That is.
And
I love all that.
I can't see any of the comments, so I'm sorry if anybody's saying anything. I'm not ignoring you. I just on my phone I can't see. But
I'm not reading the
so
comments. My hand is killing me. I'm probably going to have to go pretty soon because I got to go get ready for my day.
yeah.
Although I've noticed that
Well,
yogurt's making me stuffy. I am sitting in front of the aircon though, so it might be that. So. But yeah, Carol, I'm really sorry about your news today.
Thank you.
Well,
I
yesterday for me.
I wish it weren't the way it is.
Yeah.
And I wish it weren't such a butt kicker.
yeah.
And COVID got rid of most single-use plastic bags in the US. Huh.
Mhm.
I wonder what COVID had to do with it.
I am well, first of
I
all,
thought they were
before
already on the way, but
Yeah, they had been wanting to phase them out. Was my
yeah,
understanding.
I wanted to say something before you get off the video, Cosmic. I think the best way to show gratitude to anybody, and this is kind of for everybody, is to go out and live your best life and do the best that you can and be an inspiration to people and show up for yourself. And I think that
Yeah.
by doing that, that shows more gratitude than anyone else or anything else. And I think that's a beautiful way to celebrate a life, to show gratitude, to, bring peace into yourself. Like go go boldly in the direction of your dreams. One of my favorite quotes is build your castles in the sky. That's where they need to be. And then work hard to put the foundation underneath them. And I'm pretty sure that's from Thoreau. And I love that. And I think when we live our lives with purpose and direction and intent, I think it makes everybody that's here and that's gone on smile down on us. And it's a way to continue on. So I just want to say that for me, you showing up here every day and working hard and being so committed, it shows me your gratitude in a very
Yeah,
beautiful way
that's
that
true.
words cannot say. So I
thank you so
wanted to
much.
share that with you and hopefully maybe inspire somebody out there to, live boldly.
Thank
For
you.
those of you who weren't here earlier, this is the person who her name is Mary. She lost her battle with alcohol is my understanding, that it was related to that battle. It was. I found out night before last, and I was in a pretty heavy dose of denial. Like, nope, that didn't happen. No, that's a lie. Nope,
Yeah.
she's, you know, she's here and she's still fighting the good fight. She really did have a fight on her hands, and as you can see, she also had a very, very beautiful soul.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah, that's Mary. And rest in peace, love.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm sorry I interrupted you so much earlier, Christy.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
No problem.
It's just people were saying some really, really sweet things, and I wanted to acknowledge them, and but I didn't want to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, and like I said, I can't see the comments when I'm on my phone. Normally, I have my laptop up and I can read the comments there, and then I can like look on the phone. So I can't see what anybody's saying or not saying. And had I seen the comments, I would have stopped.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else. Okay, so COVID banned people who reuse single-use bags. Okay, that's what the germs and what. Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect.
Mhm.
I reuse those things all the time for
Oh
so
yeah.
many things. My friend is
Really nice.
support right now. I will be back if possible. Okay, Mischief. By all means, please go support your friends, especially if you know they're hurting and they're struggling and they're needing that support. I support you in supporting her 100%. Not that you need my support or approval, but yes, by all means.
Yeah.
Sending you lots of love and support. Thank you, Rebecca. You guys are very kind. Thank you. And so maybe in the future we can prevent some of this.
Yeah.
You
I think what you're doing here and the work that I feel, just my feeling, is your life's mission work, um, is to to give people a place to come and to feel heard and be good, you know? And I think I mean, I do really beautiful, and this is needed. So many people have said, AA doesn't work for me, doesn't work for me, and connection
yeah.
looks different it just does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
When you have a meeting where everyone just kind of goes around and just they have the 1 minute to share and no cross talking, and I mean, I get it. I get why that structure exists, but it's not connection.
no, no.
You may
And
hear something that sounds familiar or something that you needed to hear, but it's not connection.
well, and to be honest, I believe now I've not, but I do believe that the word you say about yourself is how you start thinking about yourself. And
Yeah.
you not struggle. I I don't think I would like to go into a meeting. My name is Christy and I'm an alcoholic, because that's defining yourself by what you were. It's not where you are. And I think, my name
Yeah.
is Christy and I'm Christy and I'm a human, because there's so much more to you than, and I think
The
that's what's
alcohol.
beautiful here is we don't define people by that. Like,
Yeah. That's
I
true.
don't come in here every day and my name is Christy and I had an eating disorder, or I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse or whatever, because then that just keeps it fresh, and
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I love about this. It's people sharing their stories. It's people cosmic who are going through it right now. It's people like who have a lot of years under your belt, and I think it's a beautiful way to not define yourself. Share your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get why
Hmm.
they insist on you saying you're an alcoholic or I'm an addict, you know, just to keep yourself reminded of, what you need to be working on. But I always did wonder if it was less helpful than it is helpful, you
I
know?
mean, I feel like it's less helpful because if you didn't know, if you weren't self-aware, you wouldn't be there.
You
I
wouldn't
mean,
be there unless, of
not
course, unless you're court ordered. Yeah.
right, right. That's say, but I mean, for the most part, like I, I think you know, say who you want to be, say what you want to do. My name is Christy, and I want to write a book. Uh, my name is Carol, and I want to change the world. Put that out, right? Instead of,
I just want to, if I can save one person from going down the road that I went down,
yeah,
then it will not have been in vain. You
right.
know,
Or help one
please,
person
please don't join a cult to get sober. It's really not a good idea.
right,
It seemed like
right,
a good idea for me at the time. It wasn't, I promise.
right. Well, and I
It,
think that's we get inspired through our connections with other people. That's where the sayings, well, if this person can do it, I can do it, or however that looks for you. Like just as humans,
yeah,
we inspire people, we draw our inspiration from people, um and that's it's a beautiful thing. you know
I love this. My name is Rebecca, and I want to heal myself and leave the world a better place than it was when I found it.
Huzzah!
Absolutely, Rebecca.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yes,
Rebecca,
love
I
this.
challenge you. Write that down, make that a mantra, and say that to yourself 3 times every day.
Yeah,
Start your journal entry with it, end it with it, put it on your mirror. That is amazing. And I love that. And I applaud you for that.
Misha, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You are such a beautiful ray of hope and sunshine, and you do need to keep going.
Yeah.
You must keep going because I can't see the world making sense without you being you in it. I just can't.
Yeah.
Huzzah. Yes. Huzzah. Yeah, you guys.
I think maybe we should make that homework. Everybody should write down something that they, just like what Rebecca did, my name is, and this is what I want to do. And just, you can share it, you cannot share it, but write it down and think on it and inspire yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for real.
not that, I'm a teacher and I'm assigning homework, but you know,
Yeah.
think on that.
Yeah.
Really put some thought into it because, you start going in that direction, right?
Yeah.
You know, you do. Doors start opening, people, opportunities start showing up, and and you're looking, instead of looking out the rear view mirror, you're looking out the windshield, right? And sometimes it's okay to rip that rear view mirror off, and you don't have to look back. You know what your past was. You know what your struggles were.
My name is Post in the Facebook group. Maybe it will help somebody get started. Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Post. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 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 with you now. My name is Post. Sorry. My mind went somewhere completely different.
I was thinking of that Eminem song. My name is what?
Well, wherever you would like to share it, Henny. If you want to share it here, we would love to see it, hear it. We'd love to be a part of it. If you care to share yours
Yeah,
here, that'd be beautiful.
yeah.
My name is Steve. Oh, wait. No, here we go. I'm trying to get my name is Steve up here, please. Thank you. My name is Steve, and I am more than the inebriated comedy relief for parties and gatherings.
Yes,
Absolutely.
huzzah!
Yes. That is
Huzzah!
powerful. That is so
Yes,
powerful.
it is.
Yes.
It is.
My
It
God.
is. Yes. You
Yes.
you are an amazing man who has inspired so many people with your story
Yeah.
and your courage and your strength.
Yeah.
Ah, my heart. I love it. I love it.
Marshall Mathers, no? I don't know. I don't know who I don't get the Marshall Mathers reference
Um,
awakened.
Eminem's real name is Marshall Mathers.
Ooh, okay. 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 Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you guys feel like we've had a meeting?
I think so. It's kind of been all over the place. I'm sorry. I've been squirreling today.
I have
I mean,
been all over the place too.
I've
Squirrel
been,
all over the place. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
you
But I
know, I woke up this morning at 9:30 and a friend is like, I need you. And I literally was on the phone for like 4 hours straight and then started doing research. And so my brain was like so kicked in into analytical mode when I got here. It took me a minute to read the room. So I want to apologize. You know,
oh,
again, the BMW story, you know.
this is a good place to come when you lose a friend who lost their battle with alcohol.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be. It's a good place to come. Thank you guys for being here so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all love you so much and we support you.
Thank you. I love you
Thank
guys
you.
too so much and support you guys. Oh, my Lord.
And thank you for creating a safe place for everybody, including yourself, to come
Yeah.
and share. Thank
Yeah.
you for feeling safe enough to share with us today. Yeah.
Henny, you know, I will, I'll probably be doing some kicking of myself or not reaching out more, you know, but I also have to know, the reality is everybody has their own battle and nobody can do it for them.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I wish I could have been a better friend though. I was off in my own little la la land, isolating in my own way, isolating in a different way than when I was drinking. You know, a cult can be very isolating. It's almost like the perfect isolation tool. And that was what I wanted. I wanted to isolate, and I did. And I deeply regret that now, you know?
Well, and I want to encourage you to think on, and I mean, I could be way wrong. Um, you were in a different place at that time, and that's not you know, you weren't then who you are now, and you were in a high control environment.
Yes, I
And
was. And I probably didn't have much more to offer than platitudes at the time because I
right,
wasn't doing any recovery program. I wanted, I
right,
I was almost like rebellious, defiant
mhm,
against recovery because I was
Yeah.
so mad at AA for going to those meetings that made me want to go drink.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, and I think maybe the bigger thing was from this, you learned, okay, you weren't maybe where you could have been as helpful. You were in a completely different place. You were a completely different person. But now you have learned from all of that and you are helping and you are doing everything you wish you could have done for your friend. And you know, the wrong kind of help, although it can be helpful, can sometimes be more detrimental than the right kind of help. And I think right now you're in the right mind space with
Yeah.
experience to give the right kind of help.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't in a good space then,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I certainly didn't know how to help somebody with, having lost their child as a result of their addiction. Mine was a little different, but it was the same,
Mhm.
you know. I didn't I I just thought that that's the way it was, that this is my life, and how
Mhm.
do I bring a baby on board to this, So
Right.
I it was my choice. It was not hers, you
Mm.
know. And anyway,
Yeah.
all we can do is deep breaths and go forward
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and hope to do better next time.
Mhm.
The next time that opportunity presents itself.
And you know what? You will do better next time. You will do better because you are in a different place right now and you have a different understanding. You aren't the same person and you have the knowledge and understanding, you know?
Well, maybe not the knowledge, but I'm here, and I want to be a soft place to land if somebody just needs that. Sometimes, I didn't land in a very soft place when I got sober. It was
Yes.
pretty tough. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. And
You
I'm
know?
sure that's how a lot of people land. And
Yeah,
so your experience of knowing how that feels makes you that much more compassionate and loving and understanding to other people's, situations.
thank you, Seventh, and thank you, Misha. Right on. I think that he hasn't said as much, but I do feel like me being honest with my son about everything.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like it does help.
Yeah. Well, it helps to understand the story. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And when you can understand the hows and the whys, especially when someone's there to give you the hows and the whys, then I mean, yeah, yeah. It's a lot harder when someone's gone and you're trying to understand something that no one can answer for you. But you're giving him a beautiful gift. You have a beautiful relationship with him, and you can give him the answers that you probably both need, you
Yeah.
know? Like you both need those answers and that understanding and that reconciliation and that love and that grace and gratitude um mm, and you can give that to each other,
Right on.
and that's beautiful, you know.
He is. He's told me. He said I love you a few times, and I can't
Mhm.
even. I can't even tell you what that does. Every time I hear it,
Oh,
wow. You
yeah,
know, nobody's twisting his arm and making him
yeah,
feel that and say that. You know,
yeah, yeah.
so that's pretty remarkable.
Well, and what's remarkable is that you guys found each other again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's so many remarkable things in your life, really. You
That's
know,
true. That is true. You know,
yeah,
and things that I could never have if I were, not sober.
right,
Things that would
right.
not be possible without being sober. Even though I went about it in a cockamamie way.
Well, who doesn't? I mean,
You know?
we all go sideways every once in a while, you know,
No,
and then,
that's true, Henny. Relationships often need no words to express love. It's a knowing. It is. But it sure did my heart good to hear the words. I'll confess.
yeah,
And it gave me the freedom to, because I'd been holding back saying it, you know. I think I accidentally blurted it one time and then thought, uh-oh, you know.
right, right.
And
Right.
then he was eventually able to say it, and it's like, and it set me free to say it because I want to say it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and how I just think it's beautiful. The level of appreciation that you must have for everything, you know, that you have going on right now and the understanding, you know.
Yeah, it is pretty
I,
wonderful, Henny,
yeah.
and I didn't deserve it. I did nothing to deserve it. So that's what makes it even more remarkable.
Yeah. Well, and he chose it and you chose it, you know. And
Yes, that was the one in the neck brace. Yes, was that your son that appeared in the early meetings as the young man with cervical collar? That's him. Yeah, that's him. Couldn't you tell? He looks just like me, except for tall and male. Maybe so, and maybe he didn't even know, that's something that he needed or wanted. Maybe so, Misha.
yeah. I think life just has a beautiful way of working itself out, you know. And it's never too late to, you can go down a road, but you know what? You can also get off the road, turn around, go back, create a different path, you know, and you guys just created a different path.
Yeah,
And I think it's gorgeous.
right on.
I really do. And I think everybody here is creating a different path. Like you were on, it's kind of, boy, I'm full of quotes today. It's like of all of the roads in the woods, I took the one less traveled, you know? So if addiction or narcissistic abuse or eating disorders or trauma is the road commonly traveled, forge your own path, right? Because then you get to choose. You get to choose where that path goes, what it looks like. You're not being controlled by
Quiet. Yeah.
something, someone else, and just take your machete and chop down all of the crap that's in the way and carry on. I am such a, like, even the books I read, you can tell, are just like these, like very like inspired. You can probably tell who I like to read. But like it is, life is a beautiful gift that we're all given. And we get to, I think we get to a point where we get to choose. We get to choose and we get to say, you know what, no more.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that anymore.
Yeah.
That that person doesn't exist, and I'm gonna be this person because,
Well, I mean, the person does exist, but,
but they don't have to be in the forefront, you
that's right.
know?
That's right.
They
They're just a little
Yeah.
little cog in the wheel, or so to speak. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I mean, I love the idea of our past things that really put us in a defeated place for a little while. I love
Hmm.
the idea that those things don't define us,
Hmm.
But the reality is a lot of them do define us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I
know, it's
mean,
just that, we get to take control of the narrative and
right,
decide how they define us,
right,
you know?
right.
I think that that's a little bit more. I mean, I don't even know what that means. These things don't define me. I don't,
Mhm,
I
mhm,
I I think I get what it's supposed to mean,
mhm.
but it's not reality.
Yeah,
I mean, these things crushed our souls,
right,
or we wouldn't be where we are today, you know?
right,
And,
right.
and yet our souls continue to, you know, carry on.
Yeah.
May not look the same as they did before the
No.
crushing blow came, but, a new and improved version of self, yes.
Well, and that's one thing that I learned doing the grief thing, says that you can have a relationship with your grief and you don't move away from it. You learn how to move forward with it. And I think that's, really a beautiful thing because you don't have to get over it. You don't have to, deal with it or move past it. You move forward with it.
Yeah,
And some days it's gonna, come forward more than others. And and I think it's all so individual, because it causes a physical reaction in us, and how each person processes that is so different, and that's why
that's true.
grief is individual. You
Yeah,
know, how I process it and how I see it is different than how anyone else sees it.
yeah,
And grief isn't just loss of a friend, it there's a lot of things that you can grieve.
that's
And
true.
I think knowing that it's okay to process it and choosing to isolate yourself versus the grief isolating you is a big difference. Everybody, it's just going to be natural to kind of, you know, go in internally and kind of look at it and evaluate things. Um, but if your grief is keeping you there, that's something different, you know? I don't think anybody should tell you to move on or get past it or have a stiff
N
upper.
no
You learn
way.
you learn to move on with it, and you learn how to navigate your life with that, and I think that's important too.
I am very intrigued by this word. Kintsugi? What is kintsugi? I must know.
Mhm. Never heard of it. I don't. Did I say it? Is it?
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, I don't know.
Where did that word come from?
I don't know. Misha put it up
Oh,
and I'm like, "Oh, I'm intrigued. I must
yeah,
know what that is."
yeah. I didn't know
I
what
heard
that
someone
means
s
either.
I must I heard someone say today, I'm paraphrasing, "If not for the obstacles and hardships, we couldn't feel the happiness around us." That's true. If you didn't know sorrow, how would you even be able to recognize joy?
Right. Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a video that helped me on grief that really helped me. I'll find it and post it in the group. That'll be great. Thank you, Cosmic.
Yes. Yes.
Pull up a link if I send it. Can you pull up a link if I send it? I can't pull it up from within Restream. I have tried. All I can do is click on the message and show it. It doesn't let me. I can see that the link is clickable, but it does not let me click on it. So, um, if you wouldn't mind maybe posting it in the Facebook group, I'd love to see it. Oh, okay. I would love. Okay, art. Is that the pottery thing?
Or is that Japanese thing where they fill the cracks with gold? Is that what that's called?
Okay. Kintsugi per wiki. Kintsugi is the general concept of highlighting or emphasizing imperfections, visualizing mends and seams as an additive or an area to celebrate or focus on. Okay.
Okay. I like that.
Kintsugi is the Japanese art of putting broken pottery pieces back together with gold. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Highlights the scars as part of the design, using this as a metaphor for healing ourselves, teaches us an important lesson. Yes.
Yeah. Well, because nobody gets out of life without
Over.
scars.
I'm glad you got your friend through. Good. Crisis
Yay.
is over. Good.
Yay.
That's wonderful.
That is. That is.
Beautiful in the broken places. Yeah.
Well, and in our vulnerabilities, that's I think sometimes where we make our most beautiful relationships, because connections. Because you think about relationships when you see somebody vulnerable and you know their vulnerabilities. Um, I think it makes it more beautiful.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
allows you to connect in a different way.
It is a pretty wonderful example. Yeah. Through each fragile piece, we respect and appreciate them, and an even stronger, more valuable creation becomes. Yeah.
Well, and I think too, sometimes, you see people and they can seem so unattainable or so different from you. And then you start hearing their stories, you start seeing their struggles, and you're like, no, wow, this is the same. We share a lot in common. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. It's just a much deeper connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Can we do some box breathing and maybe some meditation?
Yes, yes, yes. Let's do that.
Okay.
Um, So let me, first of all, as my battery is about to die. So let me pull this thing over here. Hold on. Plug this in. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do our box breathing, and we'll do 3 of those. Then we're going to do a guided meditation. And when we're done with that, I will let you know, and we will and I'll say, when I'm done, I'll say open your eyes. And for those of you that are new, we breathe in for a count of 4 through our nose, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale completely through your mouth, letting your shoulders drop, releasing anything
Rebecca,
that doesn't.
that's someone looking in the window at us. That would be Mr. Targherder, my husband Steve. Sorry about that. I just had to put that in there. I don't have a
Okay,
peeping Tom.
that's good because you're on the sticks, and if you did, we would be like, okay.
Peed a little. Does that count? I watered the dogs,
Okay.
and hey, and Edie doesn't let the chickens get any food.
I bet those puppies don't either.
Well, they try, but Edie comes and chases them. There's no room for them to get in there.
Yeah. Okay. Would you want to breathe with us?
I'm breathing pretty good, but I love you. I know y'all do it right.
Crush, Steve doesn't want to breathe with us. No, no, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Oh, sorry about
Okay.
that, you guys.
Okay, so go ahead with this one. What I'm going to have you do is put your hand over your heart space. Normally, I just tell you to either put your hand over your heart space or envision you drop in. But this time, I want you to actually put your hand on your heart space. All right. Go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to do the box breathing for a count of 3. So go ahead and or 3 times. So go ahead and breathe in. Hold. And exhale. Releasing all the air out of your lungs and letting your shoulders drop. Again, breathe in. Hold. And exhale. Last one, breathe in. Hold. And exhale. With your hand on your heart, I want you to imagine you are in a room where we all are tonight. This room is a beautiful room that's filled with soft candlelight. Each of us are gathered in a place to celebrate, hold space for those that we love, whether they are still here or they have crossed over and moved on. As you walk into the room, you see an unlit candle in a box. You pick up that candle and you walk toward the front of the room where you see lots of candles lit and each one of us standing. And as you walk toward the front of the room, it's going to take you 5 steps to get there. And with each step, I want you to bring in joy, happy memories, and smiles around the person you're thinking of tonight. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Step 4. Feeling the love for this person radiating and the smile on your face grow in wonderful memory. Step 5. You see each one of us there are holding candles. We are with you to light a candle in honor of the person that you are thinking of right now. You light your candle first, and you turn and you light the candle of the person next to you. And you go to each person, sharing a beautiful memory, lighting their candle. And now the room is more warm, more glowing, and everyone has beautiful smiles on their faces because this is not a sad thing. Feeling the love radiating from each one of us to you. Sit in this positive, beautiful memory and take it in and feel the love. And now for each one of you who is not the one holding the candle, send out love, prayers, happiness, joy, whatever that looks like, to each person in this group. Comfort, wisdom, understanding, grace, possibly forgiveness. And as we all stand there and we open our eyes, remind yourself that this is a beautiful experience and sharing the calm and joyous love, taking a moment to remember them in your own special way. When you're ready, open your eyes. I felt like we needed to honor some people tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
on that,
Thanks, Christy.
you are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I am so appreciative of each and every single one of you here. I am so proud of you for your journeys, struggles you've come through, the things that you've done, the amazing statements, the I am statements. I'm looking forward to hearing all of those. Thank you to those who shared them because you are so much more than anything that you might have been in the past. So I will see you back here tomorrow. Love yourself.
I love this meeting too, Misha. Thank you guys. And it never is a meeting without you. I mean, I'd just be sitting here by myself acting stupid if you guys weren't here to have a meeting with me. So thank you for being here and saving me from being stupid. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. And until then, peace, y'all.